Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Old Pods podcast. I'm Alan, this is Paul.
Hello.
So we're going to change it up a little bit this week, rather than spending such a big portion going through news when likelihood is when you've listened to this episode, you've probably seen it all or read it all or watched the trailers or whatever. So if there's any news that comes up that we're particularly interested in, we'll have a bit of a chat and a bit of talk about it. But generally, it'll only be for the big ticket kind of deal. Still stick to the reviews because the reviews are generally from bits that we've watched that we enjoy or that we think we're going to enjoy, and then we'll just do some different segments from there. But for this week, we'll do a couple of reviews. I think we've both seen the final episodes of Invincible. I'll chat about Daredevil episodes 1 to 4. Lawson's been to see The Monkey, or is it Monkey? The Monkey?
I think it's The Monkey.
The Monkey. And then we're going to do Hot Seat, where we'll just spend a bit of time doing 4 or 5 questions to each other, just to talk about some of our favourite things, stuff that we enjoy, and it'll give you guys a chance to kind of hear not so much just what we ramble on about every week, but what we like to watch, the kind of things that we enjoy. Okay, so reviews first. We've both seen Invincible, so we'll do that first.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of You've seen them all now, right? Right up to the end.
I mean, I saw the last one. I think I watched most of the Invincible War one, like
Yeah.
the penultimate one, and then I watched all the last one because everybody was getting excited about it.
Yeah, what did you think? What did you think of the last one?
I mean, it was obvious. It was more action packed. It was better in that regard. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's still the same gripes for me as always. Really, like the animation was a bit weak. It obviously looked better in this one. They maybe been saving up for it.
Yeah, you could clearly see like a big divide between that and a couple episodes before.
Oh yeah, aye. Yeah, they must have been saving the budget up for it. Yeah, it was good. It was definitely better than the Invincible War one. I thought Invincible War there was a bit too many cutaways. There'd be a fight kick off, and then it would cut to somebody else, cut to Cecil or something like that, and then it would cut back to the fight, and like there was a dead Invincible there. You know, like if
Yeah.
the fight was over, it sort of, which is a bit cheap, you know. But yeah, like I said, they're probably saving the money. But no, the last episode was good. I wasn't sure about the guy who voiced Conquest.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, he sounded a bit young. I don't know. Like if I closed my eyes, I wouldn't have thought the voice matched with the character.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he sounded a bit young and a bit suave, whereas I think Conquest should have sounded really old,
yeah.
like super gravelly and sort of
I was just going to say a bit gravelly, a
a
bit
bit more
rough,
commanding, a bit more like sort of sick of it all. He was a bit too suave and a bit too charismatic, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say Jeffrey Dean Morgan can do a very much kind of.
Because he is cool. He was essentially Negan, really, wasn't he? He was just
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a very. I mean, you summed it, I think, there when you said charismatic. Like, he's almost quite charming the way he speaks.
Yeah. I don't know if you know much about the Invincible storyline, but he would have. I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan would have been a better casting for the next big villain or
Oh,
whatever.
for what's
the
he called?
big villain, Thrag.
Thrag. Is it Thrag?
Yeah, I think he'd have been a better casting for him, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not as charming because Thrag's not charming. I think he's a bit more sort of I don't know what the word is. Bit robotic, bit mechanical, maybe. Or he always seems that way in my head. But yeah, I was thinking for Conquest, the what do you call him? Optimus Prime.
Oh,
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen.
I think he'd have done him well. If he could do a bad guy voice, I'm sure he can do bad guy voices because he already plays somebody in Invincible, doesn't he? He plays the leader of the coalition who Alan works for.
Oh, yes. I
was
can't remember his name, but I know who you mean. Yeah, the secret Viltrumite. He rips off his beard.
Yeah. He plays him already, but I think he could have done Conquest. I think he's got that really deep sort of commanding kind of voice. But the episode was good. Yeah, some pretty cool violent bits, some funny bits. What do you think of it?
I thought it was great. I thought it was clearly the best episode of the season.
Oh, by a mile, yeah.
By a country mile. Best episode of... I mean, what other shows have I watched this year? It's a little early in the year, but it's close to the top and the best episode of... the best episode of TV that I've watched this year. Like, it was... I just wish that it was like that all the way through, rather than just all saved for the end. because
Yeah, like
the
space it out a bit.
stakes were higher. Everybody was at risk.
Yeah.
The story beats moved along well.
Mhm.
Everything kind of bounced through the episode.
Yeah, I think that's my issue with all of it now, which I've been sort of complaining about a lot, is that it goes very high stakes with like Alan and Nolan and the Coalition and the Viltrumites, out in space and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then it goes down to very low sort of peril on Earth.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and then it goes
Chats over
high.
dinner.
Yeah, yeah, and it's very up and down. Whereas I think it's a bit it gives me whiplash watching it sort of thing because you can't maintain that high stakes
Yeah,
aspect of it. Whereas when Conquest turned up, the whole episode was high stakes, and I think the show's at a point now where it needs to drop the relationship and the family drama with the mother and the new boyfriend and stuff like that. And I think it'd be better off if it focused on the cool stuff. Essentially, at the end of the day, it's a superhero thing. It should be
yeah.
about cool fights and blowing stuff up and saving the world and stuff like that. Not dating.
How far are we? I mean, I don't know. I've not read all the comics. How far are we through the run of it? Roughly where we are now, where Conquest
Uh,
arrives? Are we about halfway
I mean,
through?
I've
Is it?
I've not read the comics. I've read a lot about the comics. I've not actually sat and read them. It was BT came up before my time, sort of thing,
Yeah,
or after my time. I don't know where Conquest's first attack, because Conquest. I mean, spoilers, but Conquest comes back.
yeah. Well,
Obviously,
that's one of the things
because
I was going to talk about. Like
Cecil has him, like locked up, and it's
Cecil has him,
what's
and
good.
like I thought,
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
no, I know. I knew as soon as he went in, and he kind of says, Mark says like, "Oh, is he dead?" And he says, "Yeah," and he says, "I want to see the
Yeah.
body." And he goes and looks at it, and he goes, "Burn it."
Mm.
I knew straight away that
He knew
Cecil's
it wasn't
thinking,
going to
"There's no
pass.
fucking way I'm
Yeah,
burning this body."
yeah.
And
Well, he get
I thought that he was going to make him into one of
oh the Reanimen.
the Reanimen,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But obviously, he just fucking straps him down a load of metal and surrounded
Aye.
by
Oh, he's got all of his
explosive.
Invincible now, hasn't he?
Yeah, which he's
He's
clearly going to bust out of there.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Clearly going to bust out of there.
yeah. Spoilers. Conquest busts out of there. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I
he
could see
gets
that
out.
coming all day
He
long.
gets out, comes back, makes a bit of a comeback. I don't know where it is, like in the beginning, middle, end sort of thing. But yeah, him and Invincible have around two. Um,
Yeah, you can see that coming all day long.
yeah, there's a whole
Yeah, he's
thing with
going
the
to be pissed.
Viltrumites with the. It depends what they leave in and what they cut, because they've cut loads and loads of stuff from it. Lots of storylines and villains and
Yeah, well,
things.
they've already said there was like a TV card, like a poster card release in the next season's planned for next year. Thrag's being cast.
Mm,
We're going to be doing a new story that's not touched on a lot in the comics, which is kind of like there was a little tease at
mm.
the end of the episode with that demon looking guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're going to.
Dark Blood, Damien Darkblood or something. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, yeah. So they said
yeah.
they're going to do
Because
a
he
little
got
bit of
he
story.
got sent off in season one, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that could be quite good. But I mean, that last episode was great. Was great. Conquest was just fucking hard as nails.
It was yeah. I mean, it was the whole episode was a fight. It was yeah, and that's
Yeah,
that's what Invincible's about. Really, it's about superheroes punching things.
yeah.
It's
And as much as I complain about them spending a lot of time between kind of Mark and Adam and Eve and their relationship development, she is a great character watch, Powell.
oh
Because
yeah, yeah.
fuck
She's a good
me,
character.
you've got so much like creative control when they were writing that and when they were doing the artwork for that. They could have done anything with that. Like
Mm.
it's brilliant. When Conquest belts towards her and he slows down, he goes, "What the?"
That was the best. That was a cool bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and she
was
says,
just
"Oh, I've increased the density of the
I
air."
was just keep thinking, do the air thing again.
Yeah, that was class.
Stop hitting him with big hammers, because the big hammers don't
Yeah,
work.
and
Um,
I fully thought, yeah, I fully thought that she was absolutely fucked when he put his hand through her.
yeah, yeah. Aye.
I thought that's it. That's, and I was shook. I thought that's it, game over. And then she came, fucking rose from the ashes and turned him damn near into ash. I thought that was class. I did think as well, though. I did think if you can make the density if you increase the density of the air, why not fill his lungs with water?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn his lungs solid.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then again, I don't
yeah,
know how long Viltrumites need to breathe, because they can hold the breath in space and stuff, can't they, for weeks?
yeah.
because
Yeah, this is true.
Nolan was
This is
flying for
true.
like ages. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, maybe that wouldn't work.
but it
Yeah.
was class, like brilliant. And then Mark, obviously, I thought was going to get his arse handed to him again, and he did. But
Mm-hmm.
then he smashed his face with his own face,
Mm-hmm.
which was great. It was brutal. Um, Cecil obviously filled him with shit. I don't know where I stand with Cecil because he's a
Well, he's supposed to
he's
be shady, isn't he? He's a shit house.
yeah, he's a bit of a prick,
He's
but
a government spook, so you don't know where you never know where
yeah,
he stands. I think.
yeah,
I think it's Earth at any cost. You
yeah.
know, it's he takes his job very seriously.
Because it's going to go to shit, and like Conquest going to kill a load of people again, and that's on Cecil. That I think that that's what I was going to say as well. One of my favourite bits of the episode was completely fucking arse clenching. Was when um, Oliver rocks up, and then Oliver gets slapped, but then
Yeah, that
Conquest
was
picks
mint.
him
That.
up, and he's going to yeah, he gives him the slap of all slaps. It was like
Yeah,
one of
yeah, that was
those.
brilliant. That. Yeah.
It was like one of those slap competitions, when you see them and they're
Yeah,
like
power slap. Yeah.
the power slap. Yeah, power slapped him through a fucking building. But then when he
Yeah.
picked him up and he was talking to him as he was stretching him and
I
trying to
pulled him
tear
in
him in
half.
half,
Yeah.
fucking hell, that was intense. That I thought this poor kid's going to get absolutely just obliterated here. Yeah, but it was good. Very solid ending to a show that had a dip in the middle. I think. I mean, the last episode I'd probably give 9. I think there's not much
Maybe.
wrong with the
Yeah.
last episode.
No, I think if they just spent a bit if on the animation they just spent a bit more money on it, I think it'd be great. Like that video that you sent, where it was that guy who just put some. He didn't even change the animation.
Oh,
He just put some effects over the top of it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it
just
looked so
overlaid it a
much
little
better.
bit.
It
Just
just,
spent a little bit of time just on the scenes.
yeah, it added so much like depth and drama to it
Yeah, great.
because
I'll
everything
put a
at the
couple
core
of
it's just all flat. Like there's no dark, there's no light. It's all just
yeah,
flat, like very flat.
yeah. For everybody listening, I'll post a couple of images of the guy who did that. And he not did it for any other reason other than he's a fan of the show. And he just spent a bit of time just improve. Well, certainly improving a couple of the scenes. And when you look at them side by side, you can clearly see the difference. Yeah, but that's good. Um, like I said, they could have lost a couple episodes through the middle for me. I think, like the dragon episode. The episode where the mobster guy, probably one of the ones that you tapped out on. That could have gone out, not being in there for
It
me.
sounds
Didn't care
familiar.
about that episode.
What happened in it? It sounds familiar. I've probably just forgot it because they were getting very forgettable.
Yeah, it was Robot. Is it Robot Head? He's
Yeah,
in it.
I know the guy. Yeah, what was the what did he do?
So he was getting. How did it go? I don't even remember how it went because it
Because I've
was
got
that
something in my
uninteresting.
head, but I don't know if I've just memory hold it or something because it's just something's there, but I can't remember what exactly.
You remember the gangster who got the concrete skin
Ah,
from
yeah,
season 1?
Titan or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Titan. Yeah. So his mob boss was making moves on his turf, and he didn't want that. So he kind
Hmm.
of wangled a way of Invincible fighting him, which ended up at a battle at the prison with a massive dragon. And it was just complete filler of an episode. And I thought I could have done without that. The episode with Powerplex, I thought was too fast. We spoke about it before. Like I think I could have been better if, rather than a full episode dedicated to that, if it teased little bits of him across a number of episodes.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I thought that it crammed too much into a small space.
Yeah,
It should have
because
been. It should have been. Yeah.
each little scene he had, if you put that in each episode leading up to it, leading up to
Hmm.
the Powerplex battle, you'd have been thinking, oh, well, who's this guy? Why are we seeing him?
Mm.
He's going having a bit of a hard time, and you'd see he's kind of descent into darkness if you in you like, and then by the time you get to the episode, you gear up for it. You're thinking, yeah, he's gonna be a bit of a fucking issue here. Um,
Yeah, it was. It was. I think they were trying to. It seemed to me like they were trying to get like one of those episodes, like that sort of that hits everyone,
hmm.
and everybody goes, "Oh, a bit like the like Last of Us 2 one with Bill and the guy, the two guys who live together."
Oh yes, 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 yeah,
I think they were trying to do like a proper, like a little self-contained standalone episode of
yeah,
like very emotional, and everybody goes, "Oh wow, this is so great," and
yeah.
should win awards. But it wasn't. It just felt really rushed.
And again, it's just like everything else we talk about, it's just opinion. I'm sure there'll be people out there that I know there's fucking people out there because they keep giving me shit online saying that they don't agree, but like I just think they could have paced it a little differently, spread it out
Mm,
across a couple of episodes, and it would have built the tension a little bit more. Would have given
mm,
the battle a little bit more gravitas, I think, rather than having an in and out in one episode.
mm. Yeah. There was a similar one as well. Was the one where Invincible went to the future and fought the
Yeah.
Immortal,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and then he went back home again. And it was just like, what the
Yeah.
fuck
Done.
was that? It was like
Done.
it just it
Yeah.
was so weird. It felt really out of place, and just like they just slapped it in because they had nothing else to put in there.
Yeah. Exactly. And I thought
Um,
we talked about it at the time. I thought that it would have led to something a little heavier with the Immortal, like towards the
yeah,
final
yeah,
episodes, but
yeah,
it just seemed to go nowhere. Unless they're playing the really long game and they're not going to bring it up until a couple of seasons down the line or whatever. But anyway, that's Invincible. Really, really strong finish. Really strong finish. I enjoyed the Invincible War. I really thoroughly enjoyed the final episode. The season, I think, is stronger than the second season. Yeah, and a lot of nice little teasers at the end for what's to come.
mm,
Like I say, I don't know much about the comics, so I don't know what any of it means other than what we've seen. I think the biggest hangover that I knew was going to be inevitable was Conquest, being locked up and being alive. I
yeah.
don't know what it means that Invincible suit was melting after Eve zapped it off him.
Yeah, like a powers are unstable or something. Yeah.
Oh, but good. I'm trying to think what else happened in the final episode.
Angstrom Levy got put back together.
Oh, yes. That was the other tease by is it the technicians or the engineers or
Technicians.
something?
Yeah, the
Technicians.
technicians. Voiced by Doug
Yeah.
Bradley from Hellraiser.
Ah, didn't know that.
The Pinhead. Yeah, it's Pinhead's voice actor.
Yeah.
He did their voice. Yeah, I thought I wasn't sure at first. I thought that sounds a bit like freaking Doug Bradley, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
big name actor for like 3 lines.
Or the funeral. That's what else happened in the last episode. The funeral
Yeah, Rex.
for Rex. Yeah.
Yeah,
And Rudy took his name and said, "Oh, I'm going to be called Rex from now on."
yeah, Rex should have went out a bit better, I think.
Yeah. It's a shame because I thought I was just starting to like him as a character as well.
Yeah, it was just a bit unspectacular. The way he went, like the explode. I think the explosion could have been bigger. Like
Yeah.
it was just like a in the background,
Yeah.
And again,
Over
it's
the top
because
of the
the
bridge.
animation's like, yeah, the anime. It's not. It's very unspectacular and flat. It's if it was some big like friggin' anime explosion.
Yeah.
Like
Huge.
again, when you go back to the first season and when Nolan it goes to that alien, I don't keep bringing it up, but when he goes to that alien planet
It was great.
and
I
he's
watched that
he's
recently,
like
actually.
flying through the buildings and they like vaporizing and exploding and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like it should be like that kind like a heroic final stand sacrifice type thing from a character like that. Like give it a bit more pizzazz
Yeah.
than just a background. It was just
Yeah.
yeah.
Rest in peace, Rex.
Uh,
Yeah. I liked him as a character as well. He was cocky.
yeah, he was annoying at first, but yeah, he had a good character arc. He
Yeah.
grew with him getting all snapped up and
Yeah.
yeah by the bad guys.
Oh yeah, he got rinsed by the serpent guys, didn't he? Get shot in the head.
Yeah, the Serpent Squad, something like that. Yeah.
Serpent squad. Yeah. And I think he was shagging everything that moved on the show. Invincible. Looking forward to the next one. Should be next year. From the final episode, if they keep that going, it will be good. Hopefully they've seen because they've got loads of feedback about the animation. Hopefully they spend a bit more on it. I don't mind waiting a little bit longer if it's going to be that little bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. On to the next Daredevil. You haven't seen Daredevil
No, I've
yet?
not seen Daredevil yet.
No,
No.
I'll not do spoilers because we're only 4 episodes in anyway. But it is very good. It's the same level certainly as it was when it was on Netflix. Very very good TV. Very good TV. It's hard to try and talk about some of the episodes without going into spoilers. But I mean, just think the same kind of tone, the same kind of the violence, the same kind of energy. It's shot very well. Charlie Cox is putting a great turn in. Vincent D'Onofrio is fucking brilliant as always, but he
Yeah,
generally
he's good as
is.
Kingpin. Yeah.
Um, It
I've
starts
not
off
seen
with a
anything about it. Like I've not seen any word about it at all.
oh fuck mate. It starts very strong. It starts with a big shock, and you think, shit, okay, this is the way they're going with this, and then it goes from there, and it's very visceral. It's very violent. It's very well written. There's a lot of character development and depth of the story and depth of the story arcs. Like each of the characters, you feel a little bit more involved with, rather than just kind of throwaway characters in the background or throwaway scenes. Everybody kind of plays a part in moving the story forward. It's very very good. There's only a couple of bits that I thought that I would have changed, and they made me panic a little bit in the first episode. They do like a big introduction. It's Daredevil, and you see him jumping across the rooftops, and he was swinging a bit with his buttons,
Oh yeah.
and you could clearly see it was CGI. And I thought, oh shit, don't do this, don't make it CGI and over the top. And like, there's a scene in Rosie's bar where they always go on the piss.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, Bullseye lobs a gas canister into there, but you can clearly see that it's a CGI gas canister by the way the
Right.
smoke fills the room. I thought, why didn't they just put a fucking actual gas canister in the room and fill it up?
It's insurance.
Yeah, and that worried me a little bit because that's like right in the first couple of scenes in the first episode, and I think, fuck, but that was it, and I moved away from it. And then the fights from that point were back to being very contained. Like there's a fight that Matt Murdock gets into when he's not in costume as Daredevil in an apartment scene with two guys, and it's fucking brilliant. I mean, it's over as quick as it starts, but it just flows. We were talking about like fight scenes that flow rather than just being single punch and then stop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was very fluid, very well done. My only other gripe is, and it's still early. There's only 4 episodes, and I think there's 9 in the series. There's been a lot more, and it's not so much a gripe because it's good. If it was boring to watch it would be a gripe, but it's quite interesting. But on the flip side of that, there's been a lot of Matt Murdock time rather than Daredevil time.
Yeah.
And like, as much as that's great, and as much as it's very interesting to watch and very compelling, like it's a Daredevil show. It's not fucking Matt Murdock Attorney at Law. I just wanted to see a little bit more Daredevil, a little bit more of the action. But by the way it's geared up over the last couple of episodes, it's really about a flip. And I think that episode 5, obviously the halfway point, is going to be the turn, and it's just going to go absolutely nuts. But I can't emphasize enough how much of a great show it is. It's very, very well written.
I'll give it a go. I
And
mean, I like the other ones. I thought the other ones were good.
yeah,
I'll get
yeah.
around to
If
it.
you like the other ones,
Yeah, they were
I
fine, eh?
think you'll
If
very
you
much enjoy this.
yeah.
Power through the first couple of scenes in the first episode because you think they might do something a bit odd here, and it might not go down very well. But once you get past that, and you get the first 2 episodes under your belt, it's great. Really, really good.
I'll give it a go.
Um, I mean, the first episode was potentially the weakest one, and even that I would give an 8 out of 10. We're probably sitting about 9 across the board for all of them now.
High praise indeed.
High praise, high praise. So definitely, definitely give it a go. And that's Daredevil. I don't want to go into spoilers if you haven't seen. I'll let it kind of go because if I give you spoilers, I might jade you a little bit or jack up your opinion before you go in. I'd rather you go in under a blind and just kind of enjoyed it. But that's it. Daredevil, give it a watch. What was yours then? Did you see The Monkey?
Yeah, I watched the monkey. Aye.
Is it scary?
It's not scary.
I bet it fucking is.
It's not. It's like I mean, it's a comedy. It's a horror movie, but it's a comedy horror, and it's more like it's like gory, not in a sadistic way. It's like it's quite funny. It's the basic premise of it is this family has got, well, it's two young brothers, twins. They find a toy, like a wind up monkey in the dad's belongings. The dad doesn't live with them anymore. I don't know if he's dead or he's left or whatever, but yeah, I think it's in his wardrobe. They find like a wind up monkey. It's like
Yeah.
one of them old fashioned ones, and it's got like a drum, like like you wind it up in the drums, and
Oh
it
yeah, I
plays.
know what you mean.
What does it play? Oh, it's I like to be beside the seaside. It plays that while it's drumming. And while it's doing that, it selects someone to die, and when it hits the drum for the last time, the person dies, and it's completely at random, and it's usually rather violent and like a bit amusing in a slightly Final Destination kind of way. Like there'll be
Right.
like
Okay.
a series of like things will happen, like something will fall over and it'll knock something else, and then something else will happen, and and then
Yeah.
it'll cause the death. Um, and the half the film follows the two young lads when they're younger, and then the other half is when they're grown up. So the first half is like the adult main character telling the story of when they were kids, and then the
Right.
second
Okay.
half is him. He's trying to find the monkey essentially because it's gone missing, and people are dying, and he knows it's the monkey.
He knows
So
it's the monkey.
so he wants to go and find it. Um, Not that he can do anything with it, but he just wants to, yeah, because people are dying, it means somebody's using it. So he wants to
Yeah.
he wants to go and find it. Um, yeah, it's very funny. There's quite a few bits where I properly laughed at it. Just weird interactions. It's based on a Stephen King story, which I've not read, but um, it's got his fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
Especially the bit set in the past. It's a horror film, but it's not horrific.
No, I didn't think it had like a humour side to it.
Oh yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, it's like funny in a grim way. Like the people die, and you just can't help but laugh at it because it's so ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah.
It's so over the top. There's a bit where there's a bit where a woman gets shot with a shotgun, and she just absolutely explodes all over the room. Like there's nothing left of her. She's just blood all over the walls. Like it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous and over the top. Like she would just have a hole in her or something, but she just fucking vaporizes all over the room. There's no left of her, and yeah, it's very funny like that. Um, yeah, you could handle it. It's not that scary. I don't think there's not any like really creepy, spooky moments in it. I think there's a couple of bits where you like the camera will sort of linger on the monkey for a little while, and you think, is it going to move? Is it going to, is it going to turn its head, or is it going to? But it never does. Never does anything. It's just a toy monkey. It's just got
Yeah.
some weird curse power about it.
Oh, there
Yeah,
we go. I'm just making a note now to give it a watch.
yeah. Give it a
Or
watch.
try and give it
It's
a
it's
watch.
enjoyable. It's about it's a horror movie about the same level as like Final Destination. It's that kind of level of whatever horror scariness. It's violent at times, but it's funny. Yeah, it's always like jokes all the way through it. Everything's quite amusing about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely sounds like a one I'll be able to handle.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give it a go. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
thoroughly
give it.
enjoyed it. The ending's a little bit like I don't know. The ending's a bit weird. Weird. It's like a little bit offbeat, but it fits. Like it works, and because it's a Stephen King, it's got a very Stephen King ending. He's
Yeah.
it's a bit of a meme that Stephen King's third acts are always a bit weird. They always come apart a bit in the third act, and this does have a strange third act, but it's still good. It's still funny. It doesn't detract from the film in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah, still enjoyed it.
Give it a watch. What rating out of 10?
We give it an 8.
That's good.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah. Any big names in it? I don't think I've seen anybody that's in it. Or is it all
Uh,
kind of like relatively new actors and actresses? And
I'm not sure. There's a guy at the beginning, briefly in like a little intro type scene before the opening credits. He's in loads of stuff. He's in that Severance at the moment. Hold on, I'll
oh
fetch it
yeah,
up. We'll have a look at it.
everybody's been banging on about that. I've never watched it yet.
And the mother looked familiar, but I don't know who she is. Theo James is the main character. Don't know if you know who he is. I don't know who he
No,
is. Tatiana Maslany is the mother. Does that sound familiar?
no.
Let's have a look.
I'll look it
It's
up.
fucking She-Hulk.
Oh yeah,
She-Hulk's the mother. Like in the past when the kids. Yeah, Elijah Wood's in it as well for like 2 minutes. In like a very small sort of cameo role, and he's really funny in it. He's funny as
yeah.
hell. He's got maybe 10 lines max, but he's really funny in it. Yeah, he
I like Elijah
plays
Wood.
he
It's been a long time since
plays.
I've seen him in anything.
Yeah, I think he produces a lot of stuff now.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he plays the adult main character's ex-wife's new husband, and he goes to visit him to pick up his kid, and yeah, Elijah Wood's there just being weird. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, I don't know who else is in it, like who anybody else is in it. I'm not very good with stars. Adam Scott is the guy I was thinking about at the beginning. He's in all sorts.
Yeah, just having a look now.
Step
Sometimes with
Brothers.
these kind of things, like I'm better with faces than I
Yeah, I'm
am
rubbish
with.
with names. Yeah, I'm crap with names. Parks and Recreation. He's in Severance. He's the brother in Step Brothers. He's one of the brothers. Step Brothers' brother.
Oh, I
He's the
don't
one
know
who.
who that Theo James is. Yeah,
Theo
he was
James.
in the Divergent series.
Oh god, yeah, he's the main character in that Gentleman TV show.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, I watched that and I didn't even. I never put two and two together. He's English in that though, isn't he?
yeah,
Well, he's English in real life, but yeah, and he's American in this. But yeah, that's him. He's the main character, or the adult main character.
yeah. I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, yeah, watch it. It's good. Yeah, it's fun.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah,
All right.
there was no trailers to speak of. I think there was about. I think there was two trailers and about 45 minutes of adverts. But, so yeah, got nothing interesting coming out.
It's usually the way, though, isn't it?
I bother
Yeah.
going.
Like, I've give up trying to like. Do you remember when you used to go to like the cinema as a kid and you'd go and you'd be like, ah, shit, we need to make sure like it starts at like 8:30 or whenever the fuck it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you've got a good 20 minutes before
You
you
turn
need to
up at
be in
nine
that.
o'clock now and it'll be fine. Yeah,
Yeah, easy,
yeah. I
no
think I was
problem.
half an hour late once for a film. It was the new Candyman actually. It came out a few years ago. I think I
Yeah,
was like half an hour late, and I got in, and it still hadn't even got the
I hadn't
trailers. It was still
started.
on the
Yeah,
adverts. Yeah,
yeah. I think the worst one I went for that was when I went and seen it was one of the new Star Wars ones. It might have been Last Jedi actually. I went in and I bet it was 40 minutes we sat and watched through
oh,
trailers and adverts and
piss take. I don't
all
mind
sorts of
trailers.
shit.
Trailers are great. I could sit and watch trailers all day, but it's the
Yeah, there's
adverts, you know,
it's
like
it's the fucking 16 adverts in between each one.
yeah, telling you to go and buy Coke and remind you not
Yeah,
to pirate things.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you get the it's almost time for the movie to start.
Ah,
Do you need to
yeah,
get something else from the foyer?
yeah.
And then there's another
Adverts.
16 adverts and another fucking five
Yeah,
trailers.
telling you about the fucking leather seats and stuff like that, and the
Yeah,
fucking speakers. I couldn't give a toss.
no,
Yeah,
no, just play the movie. That's what I'm
that's
here
it. Yeah.
for.
I think a few years
This
ago there
is
was a movement. I think there was a company who was going to do that. They were going to do it where just played the film. You got there,
yeah,
it played the film on the time it had on the ticket, and then that was it. And then you pissed off.
yeah,
And I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if that, yeah, but there was a plan to launch a company like that, and it never come about. I don't think. Yeah, I'd be all for
yeah.
that.
I'd
Like,
love to do. I'd love to find. Well, I'd love to do it myself actually because it'd be great. And I think we had a chat about it before, like all of us in the group chat, like between like the six of us, about doing like one of those the pop up screenings
yeah,
where you
yeah.
get the projector and you go out and you
Aye,
just
outdoor
say you're
cinema.
going to show a series of movies in the woods during Halloween, or you're going to
Aye.
show someone a driving a lot in the summer and things like that.
I did all the graphics for a company that did that ages
It'd be
ago,
class, class.
and they never did anything with it. I think they did one show in like the town centre where they were set up. Um,
Yeah,
I think they showed like they showed like Peppa Pig on one of the buildings in the town centre, and then they
yeah,
never did anything with it ever again. That was it. And the brand was
yeah.
class, if I do say so myself.
Be a great idea that just having, even if you got just like a bit of space and then just themed it, decorated it for whatever kind of
Yeah.
movie you were showing, and
Well, when we're rich men, we'll do it. It's like everything. It's money, money, money.
money, 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 money. All right, okay. Let's move on. Oh, before we move on, I, because I keep forgetting to say like and follow and subscribe and all that shit, I recorded the other day
You
just
have a
on my
jingle.
own. No, I wish I did a jingle.
Oh,
Just a little snippet of me saying thanks for listening. Be sure to like and follow and subscribe. So when anybody's listening back to this episode, it'll might be a little off kilter.
Kilda.
How do you say that?
Keister.
Keister?
Kilda.
Out of sorts? That's not one. Anyway, out of sync maybe. But there'll suddenly be a soundbite of me popping up periodically between every fucking segment in the review.
The start of a jingle. It's the proto jingle.
Proto jingle, just saying, thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll just sing it next time.
There we go. Jingle origins done.
Yeah. Okay. So, hot seat. So we'll put you on the hot seat first, Wilson. I'm going to go through 5 or 6 questions that I wrote down. Nothing exciting. A lot of which I probably know the answers to already. But just for the benefit of everybody else, so they get to know us a little bit better, and then kind of
I'm
see
not
what
with
our
interest.
tastes are like. I was going to put a timer on it, but we don't need a timer on it. We'll just go through these few questions, and then however long they take, give us long answers, short answers, whatever kind of answers you want, really. So, first question: what is your favorite genre of movie and why?
It's horror films, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah, I've always been into horror films and horror everything, horror books. I mean, here's my on my desk. Here's my horror top trump cards and my other set of horror top trump cards.
no, that's a cool
Um,
image on that one. That second one, though. But I mean, that's fucking
the class.
terrifying.
They're the best things ever. It's Christopher Lee Dracula, Traced.
Yeah.
Um, top trumps didn't give a shit back in the day. Um, yeah, I've always been into horror movie stuff. So yeah,
Do you not live in a perpetual nightmare? I'd be constantly fucking
no,
terrified.
I know you're soft as clats though. I mean, why do you what you scared of? Do you think Freddy Krueger's going to get you?
Well, no, I've told you this before.
I know you have some mad reasoning that makes
It's
absolutely
not,
no
it's
sense.
not my
It's
reasoning. It's
complete
not.
fucking
This is
slander. It doesn't
perfectly
make
logical.
sense.
It's perfectly logical.
Come on,
Like,
then, let's have the
you
logic.
could put me in one of these, like, these like haunted houses that you go to visit, or haunted stays, and it's in the real world. There's nothing like that can hurt you, so it doesn't matter. It's not scary. When you're watching a movie, you fully invest in the movie, so what you're watching becomes the reality, and that is fucking terrifying.
But but if you were in a haunted house in the real world, that would be in reality.
No, because then I'd
You-
know that it's just reality and it's just shit. It's like it's just the pipes moving, or it's
So
pressure changing,
you
or it's
wouldn't.
temperature changes.
So according to your fucking logic, you wouldn't be scared of something. You wouldn't be scared of a supernatural event in real life because it's reality.
Yeah, because it doesn't
However,
exist.
but if it did, that's what I'm saying. The things in the film don't exist either, man.
Yeah, no, but you're investing in the film, don't you? That's the world you live in when you're watching the movie.
But
And in that moment, it's fucking you think shit. There's actually something that's going to get me. But when you're
no,
in reality,
because it's a film. Because you're sitting looking at a
no,
screen. You're
it's
not in
not.
the film. Do you see yourself in the film?
Yes, that's the world I live in that time.
Oh, you know.
Yeah,
No,
but in reality, there's nothing like that there.
no, it makes no sense.
It does make
It's
sense.
not.
It does. There's got to
Everybody
be
else,
people that agree with me here. Like,
everybody
if you're
else in the
watching
group
it,
chat agreed with that it makes no sense.
yeah, only because you fuckers just do it to wind me up. There's, when you're watching a movie, if something's happening in the movie, it becomes more realistic than real life in
That's
that
that's
moment in time.
that's utter nonsense. It doesn't become
It's
more
not.
realistic than real life.
It does. It does. But then in reality,
That's impossible. You must have some kind of brain wrong
no,
for that to take effect.
no. But then in reality, like, if you're in a haunted house or if you heard like a funny noise, it's probably just the fucking wind.
Well, yeah, but you say in reality, but that's not a haunted house. That's just a house where you hear the wind.
Yeah, but
If
it'd be the
you're in a
same.
haunted house, it would be haunted.
It wouldn't be haunted though, because it doesn't exist.
But neither does the stuff in the film that you're watching.
Yeah, but it does when you're
Yeah,
watching it.
it's fucking. This is absolute nonsense.
It's not.
It's like I can't even describe how mad this is. Like
It's not.
this theory of yours, it needs to be studied.
It's not theory. It's not theory.
I
There's got
think
to be
so. I
somebody that
mean,
agrees with this. There's got to be. There's got to
I'm
be.
sure there's loads of mental people out there.
All right. Next, next one. What would you say are and if it's anything of mine, they'll probably change. Like every now and again, they'll change. But what would you say your top 3 to 5 movies of all time that you would happily put on and watch at any point?
We had this at work recently, and I think at the time I went with, in no order, Flash Gordon,
Shit.
because I love it. It's not, man. It's class.
It's
I
not.
love it so much, um, and I always have since I was a kid and I first watched it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, a good chunk of it's probably nostalgia, but it's just so, I don't know. It's the visuals. It's really, the production design's brilliant. The acting's shocking from a lot of the people in it. Um, whether it's the acting or just the writing, because some of the lines are proper stingers. But it's all the better for all that.
Yeah.
It's almost got like a homemade charm to it, even though it was a fairly big budget affair. Uh, and there's also some good acting, like Max von Sydow was having the best time of his life. Brian Blessed, obviously, I think he just turned up. I don't think he was even cast, and he's just loving life.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it's like an adventure. It's a bit sexy. It's a bit violent. Uh, yeah, some monsters in it. Some like a little bit of monster design. Amazing sets. Like back when they made sets.
Hmm.
Great sets, great costumes. It's just like a proper adventure. Um, it's as camp as Christmas and as cheesy as you like, but I think they embrace it. I don't think for a second that it takes itself seriously. It's great and I love it. It's one of them films where even if it's in the last 5 minutes on telly and I land on it, I'll sit and watch. I'll still sit and watch the end of it.
Yeah. Just leave it on.
And the soundtrack, of course, is absolutely incredible. Queen did I think they did the score as well, the score and the soundtrack. Yeah, the Queen music for it's great. Um, what else? I think I think RoboCop,
Oh, good shout.
the original, obviously. I mean, RoboCop's a perfect movie in every way. It's like the effects are unreal. The stop motion stuff's a bit like ages it a bit, but it also provides a lot of the charm for it as well.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like the 209 stuff. Um, yeah, just everything about it. I mean, I can't say anything about RoboCop that hasn't been said 1,000 times already.
No,
Um,
it just reminds me of RoboCop. I remember watching it as a kid, and we were kids because like back in like the
it came out
nineties,
in
like
like 82 or something, 81,
yeah,
82 or something.
yeah, it
Yeah.
came out in like '82,
Would
and
have been,
I must have been like
what would have
I
been
don't
one or
know,
two then,
like
yeah.
10 or 11 or something when I seen that, and it was a violent fucking movie. But
Oh, God, yeah. Insanely violent.
yeah, but it's got like there was like kids' toys for RoboCop.
87? Shit, I thought it came out a lot earlier than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had some of the toys. I had the
yeah,
RoboCop action figure. I had the Ed 209 as well.
yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. So everybody knew what RoboCop was. Like,
Yeah, it was because he made a cartoon of it. There was a
ah,
cartoon series. There was a video game. Ocean did a video game for it. Ocean Software.
but
God,
I
man.
just remember looking at it thinking that Cyborg is absolutely fucking unbelievably good.
Which
Like
one?
it just looked real.
Oh, like RoboCop.
Like RoboCop, yeah, it
Oh
just
yeah, I mean,
looked,
why? I mean, it was, like it was all prosthetics and it was a suit. It was
yeah,
no special effects or anything. It was real. Um,
yeah,
I mean, it was really good special effects. Like it looked like metal. The paint jobs he did on it was all the effects in it are good. Like Murphy's head, like when he takes the mask off and stuff.
when he takes like the
It's
visor
like
off,
completely seamless. It's like even on like new modern tellies, it's perfect. Like the
yeah,
prosthetic is just so unreal. Um, yeah, like the suit never looks like rubbery or anything. It looks like metal,
mm.
and the way he moves in it and stuff. I know Peter Weller did like a lot of work with I think it was a French guy. I think a mime artist he got in eventually. Because
Yeah, for the
originally
way he
RoboCop
moves,
was gonna like move fast and he was gonna be like a super ninja cyborg. Um, but he couldn't move in the suit, so they had to do like a last minute like, right, we're gonna have to change
yeah,
this, and they made him like a tank instead. Like, so they got this, and they got a movement artist. I'm sure he's a French mime artist, I think, to come in and him and Peter Weller developed the whole everything. They did it together. Uh, Developed how he would move and stuff like that. So yeah, it's everything about it. Everything about RoboCop's just great. Cars are sick. The gun's mint. The sound effects. He's the sound
yeah,
effects of his gun. That
yeah.
I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh, fuck yeah, yeah.
Tech
Like
Nine
that,
or something.
like that
It's like
fucking
fires 3 shots. It's like
yeah, like a
yeah.
very short, sharp burst.
Aye.
Yeah,
And he spins, puts it in his leg. Oh,
yeah,
putting the gun in the leg is just So cool.
I always like the tracking as well, like the
Look at the
tracking when he's
fucking gun.
targeting
Oh, the
a
two
little.
lines. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the lines.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was class.
yeah, yeah. Even stuff like that, like that, like he's like the display inside his helmet. It never, it never looks fake. You know, like you see some stuff on films where they doing stuff on computers and it doesn't look real. It looks rubbish.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't look like it was. It doesn't look like actual software. It just looks
mm,
like they've made it for a film. Where RoboCop's like he's when you do see stuff inside his, it looks like it could be a real thing. You know,
yeah,
it's like pared down and it's very basic and things and yeah,
yeah,
it's everything about it. It's just amazing.
yeah. It's a great movie.
Number three, that was where I stumbled at work because it's either and you're going to I think you love both of these films. It's either Blair Witch,
Uh,
the original, the Blair Witch Project, or Wicker Man.
oh my
And
god,
I know you, yeah, I know you love them. Do you like Blair Witch? I can't remember your
no,
thoughts on Blair Witch. No, I didn't think you did.
no, it's shit. Like
It's fucking shit.
it's shit.
I mean, it's just one of the most enduring horror
Why
movies of
the
all
dude
time. But
stood
yeah,
in the fucking corner? I've got no idea. Why don't you just leave the cunt in the
just
corner and get out the
I
fucking
mean,
house?
we've gone through this. You need to watch it again and actually pay attention. You need to get off your phone. Stop
No,
playing fucking Angry Birds every time
hard
something
pass.
scary happens.
I'm assuming you mean the original Blair Witch as well, because didn't they remake it?
Yeah, there was Blair Witch Project, and then there was Blair Witch Two: Book of Shadows, and
Yeah,
then there was the Blair Witch, which was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I think now.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe probably fucking 10. Yeah, I'll have a look at that now. But yeah, I mean, Blair Witch Two was very much of its time, and
yeah,
in that film, Blair Witch Two was obviously they gone in the woods to film a documentary, and then
yeah.
they lost or the people discovered the footage ages later after they'd gone missing. But Blair Witch Two is in the film. The film is a thing, like the Blair Witch Project movie
Right, okay,
in is a movie in Blair Witch Two, and
right, okay.
it's about the tourists who go to the area because they love the film so much and they want to visit the area and the locations and things. But things start to get funky. Um, it's very of its time, and it's just a movie. It's not like cameras or handheld or anything. It's just a movie, like a movie
When
movie.
was when was Blair Witch then? Was that like
I think
was
Blair
my
Witch
time
was
in?
'99.
I was going to say was it late '90s?
I'll just fetch it up now. Blair Witch Project 1999.
Yeah,
Blair Witch 2 was 2000, and The Blair Witch was 2016. Fuck me, it's nearly 10 years ago. I knew it was going to be the
2016. I
case.
thought it was a lot more recent than that.
I didn't know, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, 99 and 2000, the originals. But anyway, yeah, the first one is just, it's another one where I can just watch it wherever it is. I'll stick it on and just have it on in the background while I do stuff.
Yeah,
And
oh,
like, I
fuck all
don't
of
even
that.
need to watch it anymore. Like, I know it's scene for scene. And um, I actually hated it when it came. I didn't hate it when it came out. I saw it on launch day, or release day, whatever you want to call it, in down Teesside, and I was very underwhelmed. But it was, I was like what 18, 17, 18, something like that,
Yeah, yeah,
and I was a bit disappointed with like the ending, and I thought it was rubbish. But it was one of them that stuck with me, and I like
yeah,
sort of, and I watched it again, and I picked up more stuff like the whole why he was standing in the corner at the end and things like that. Yeah, and it's really grown on me over the years, and now I absolutely love it. I think it is scary. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've camped out in the woods before, and I know what it's like. It's freaking horrible camping out in the woods.
yeah,
I don't know why people do it. It is very scary, and it's the kind of film that I can put myself in because I've been in a similar situation. I've been in the woods camping out, like come up with tent on a night, and there's just nothing. You see nothing, just what's in your torch. You hear weird noises that you don't know if it's a person or a deer or whatever. It's yeah,
yeah,
and it's all underpinned with this supernatural. Like, is it or isn't it? I like horror films if there's a bit of sort of tenuous. You know, is it supernatural? Is it not? Yeah, I like that.
yeah.
And my other one, Wicker Man, which I don't know which one. It depends on the day. You'd have to ask me. Wicker Man again. I love it. It's mad. I know you hate it, and everybody hates it. Turner hates it, but yeah, yeah. It's I just love it. It's like a time capsule. It's so weird. and it throws the brakes on at the end so hard because it's all a bit like wacky and a bit dreamy. You know, there's like these singing and stuff, and it's like the locals are playing silly bastards with him, and you know, like they're all acting thick and stuff like that, and he's getting their run around, and then at the end it just like slams the brakes on, and it's like, yeah, it's like this was all just we were just playing a game with you, like you're gonna die now, and like nobody comes and saves him. You know, like you think like something's going to happen at the end, like he's going to get out and he's gonna like escape or stage some kind of like final battle. You know, like where he takes a couple of them with him or something like that. But he doesn't. He just doesn't get out. He just sits there and burns and all the locals on Summer Isle, they all just sing. They just stood there singing, and that's it. And then it's just that's it. It's like I imagine at the time when it came out, it was a bit. I imagine it was really impressive in the cinema to see that like that total 180 at the end. You know how it goes from like a little bit quirky and a bit sort of weird and folksy and almost a comedy at times to just this like bleak ending, just this horrible bleak ending where like the bad guys, so to speak, the bad guys win, and it's utterly hopeless for the main character, and the whole thing is like had his time wasted, and he's just been played the whole time. Like from the moment he sets foot on the island, he's been in their game, and he's never been winning at all. Once it's just they've been playing him the whole time.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's another one of the films where like I'm just repeating what other people have probably said loads, but yeah, I just love it.
Yeah,
I
it
know
doesn't
you
matter.
hate
It's
it,
what you enjoy, isn't it?
and then
I mean, it's shit.
The Nick Cage one's dire as a
I
film.
don't think I've
Nick
seen
Cage
the
is
Nick
great
Cage
in
one,
it.
you know.
Oh, it's mad. It's you'll probably enjoy it more than the original. But it's just daft. It was a bit pointless. They didn't need to make it. Nick Cage is crazy in it because he's always crazy in everything. Um, yeah,
Uh,
them's probably my top three. I'm sure it
yeah.
changes from time to time here and there
Yeah, mine
because I
does.
do
Mine
like a lot of
mine
films.
floats up and down loads with what's my favourite. And
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
yeah,
so many films, an outrageous amount of films. But yeah, them three, well, four. Yeah, those are my ones. Those are the ones that I absolutely love and will always sit and watch. Always.
yeah, good, good. I thought one of them you were going to see Exorcist, to be honest, because you're an Exorcist guy, aren't you?
Exorcist is very, very up there. I do love it. I actually, I actually, I don't like the bit with the exorcism as much as the rest of it.
Mm.
Weirdly, like at the end when it all starts being like all vomity and stuff, and the power of
Yeah,
Christ
yeah,
compels you. I prefer the rest of it, especially the beginning, the opening in I think it's Iraq where they discover where Mirren finds the statue or the
yeah.
head. That whole scene is just it's amazing. It's so ominous. The loads are like little tells, you know, like sort of like with the shadows and things and the way things are framed. Um, you know, like there's the yeah, just the shots are arranged so there's like certain characters are in shadow and there's like crosses on the floor and stuff made out of like gaps in buildings and all. It's just it's so well shot. The original the
Mm.
opening scene and the stuff with Damien, the fella in the subway who says, "Can you
Oh, yeah, yeah,
spare a dollar for an old choir boy or something like that? Spare something for an old choir boy father or something." And then the demon says it later. You know, it's like
yeah,
it's so creepy. You know, like it's so sinister and yeah. It's that sense of the supernatural slowly like creeping its way into the normal world. You know,
yeah,
and at the end it's full blown. It's all there's all demonic horrid shit and stuff, and it's puking up everywhere and yeah. But at the beginning, you just get that sense that something's trying to like creep its way in,
mm.
like into the film and into reality and into into these characters' lives. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Oh,
Exorcist 2, dog shit, worst film ever made. It's horrendous. But Exorcist 3 is fantastic,
ah,
super good Exorcist because The Exorcist is a book. Like that was William Peter Blatty wrote the book, and then they made Exorcist 2, like the film studios made Exorcist 2 in a rush because it was like, oh, the Exorcist one's a big success, and they made Exorcist 2 and it was rubbish. not like that much of a rush, but they definitely turned it out quick. And they made Exorcist 2, and it's nonsense. It's unconnected to anything. But the writer, like Blatty, wrote uh, part 2 of The Exorcist called Legion as a book, and then Legion got turned into Exorcist 3. So Exorcist 3, the film, is actually part 2 of the original Exorcist story.
All right,
And
okay.
Exorcist 2, the film, is just some fucking nonsense
Yeah,
that they
it's just
shit out.
disconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's awful. It's really awful. But three's amazing. That's got some really. It's got what's largely considered to be the best jump scare of all time in it, and it is fucking great as well. Yeah, you'll jump out your skin if you
yeah,
at
fucking
that bit.
100%. I've never seen either 2 or 3,
Yeah, you die at
but
three. The jump scare bit in three, you'd piss your pants at it.
yeah,
Yeah, and again, like Brad Dourif's in it. He puts a great turn in. Yeah, I'd recommend it to watch Exorcist 3, but you'll not.
no, fuck
But
that.
it is great. It's an excellent film.
No, you'd have to ply me with a drink or fucking get me to lose a bet or something to watch that. That's too much of a soft arse to watch that. All right, okay. Next question. Well, you might have answered this next question in amongst your top movies,
The
but I was
point.
going to say, what's your favorite movie from being a kid, and what's your favorite '90s movie?
90s movie. Oh. I mean, I suppose Blair Witch falls into 90s, doesn't it?
Yeah,
But I don't know if it's my favourite 90s movie, weirdly. Because for me, Blair Witch is quite timeless. So I don't think. I wouldn't. Even though it came out in '99, I probably wouldn't call Blair Witch a '90s movie because it's
yeah,
not very
same.
'90s
Yeah,
in the way that, say, something like what would be a '90s movie like.
like for me, I'd probably call back to like Independence Day or Jurassic Park
Yeah,
or
yeah, them are proper '90s movies. Them, yeah.
yeah,
Jurassic Park was amazing when it came out.
yeah, it
Um,
was
I don't
fucking phenomenal.
I don't think people now really get how good Jurassic Park was when it came out because
No,
it was one of the films. I think it was probably the first film where CGI started to look real,
yeah,
and you couldn't believe that what you were seeing on screen wasn't real. Like it was,
oh,
it was unbelievable at the time to see. Like the bit with the T Rex and stuff was just, and yeah, half of it was puppets. Like the feet and the glass bit on the roof and stuff. That was animatronics, but you couldn't believe that what you were seeing wasn't real. It looked at the
yeah.
time it looked so real.
Even before that, the scene when they first arrive on the island and they see the Brontosaurus
Ah, yeah.
and one of them stands up on its hind
Ah,
legs and you think,
yeah.
fuck, that
Yeah.
looked phenomenal.
Yeah. It was mind blowing. There was a film called Deep Rising. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I've seen Deep
Yeah,
Rising.
that's a super '90s movie. That
Yeah,
for
it's a
me,
proper
like
90. That's a
that.
really good shout,
Yeah, that
actually.
that's
That's
proper
a
like
really
wraps
good
up the
shout.
'90s. It's like I don't know. The '90s seem to like try and compress a lot of genres into one film. It
Yeah,
seemed to be an era where they did that, and it's got like a bit of horror, a bit of sci-fi. It's like bit of comedy, bit of action. It's like a bit of everything,
yeah,
and it's just mad. The story's mental. I just don't think you get films made like that these days that are just like clearly somebody's corked up idea. Um, Now it's like you pitch that and they'd say like, well, yeah, but where's the superheroes?
yeah,
Like, yeah, can we put Chris Pratt in it and can we make sure that nobody dies so that we can make it a 12?
huh?
Um, yeah, Deep Rising was super 90s and I
Yeah.
love it for that. Again, probably not my favorite, um, but a film that I did watch loads when I was a kid because it was one of the few videos that we had, um, and that nobody talks about is one called The Last Starfighter. Have you seen that?
That rings a bell. I can
It's
sort of
so
picture
good.
it as well.
It's We had it in one of them videos with the VCRs with a massive hollow plastic shell case where they always crumpled and they were
Yeah,
crap. And they like before they made the hard shell VCRs that became the standard. It was about
yeah.
a lad who worked he lived on a trailer park in like Nevada or something, somewhere like sort
God,
of
yeah,
dusty. And there was an arcade machine on this trailer park where he lived, and he played it all the time. And I think the arcade machine was maybe called the Last Starfighter. And he played it all the time, and he was really good at it. And he gets the high score on it one night. I think he like completes it, and he gets the super duper high score. and the whole trailer park's like, hey, he's beat it, he's done the high score, because nothing happens there. It's like dead end, and
Yeah.
he's bored. His life's boring, and like he does a lot for his mum and his brother and stuff. He's very disillusioned, and he thinks there's more to life, sort of thing. Anyway, this like crackpot turns up, this mad fella turns up and says, "I've got an offer you can't refuse," and stuff like that. And he's a bit like the guy from Quantum Leap, Sam, and Iggy.
Yeah.
He's a bit like him, bit slick, like bit of a gobshite. And he takes him off in his flying car, and they go off to space. And the arcade machine was actually a training program to see if,
Ah,
because they're recruiting people to save the galaxy, essentially, because they're in a losing war against the Kodan Armada, these alien bad guy dudes. And so the arcade machine was sent out to all these different planets to see who's got it to become a starfighter.
that's
um,
class.
and it's meant there's like a lot of early CGI for the space fights, and it looks like, I mean, it's like the CGI is dreadful. It's just very plain. There's no like shaders on it, or there's no texture. It's just like flat
Yeah, just flat.
silver panes
Yeah,
and surfaces
I
and
could
things like
picture
that.
it now.
Polygons, yeah. It's yeah, but he's got like a co-pilot who's like a lizard dude called Grig, and he like takes him under his wing and sort of says, teaches him how to be a starfighter and stuff like that. And it's like a buddy movie, and it's a bit of there's a bit of romance in it, bit of action. It's so good. It's so good. When I'm gonna have to look when it came out, but
I just had a quick look there, like early 80s, 82, I think.
oh shit, that early, 84, yeah,
84.
yeah. So, but yeah, I had the video, I had the VCR of it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and aside from stuff like Flash Gordon that I watched all the time, and stuff like that, to give something that a shout out that isn't just the standard stuff that I always talk about. Last Starfighter is fantastic, and I'm amazed how it hasn't been picked up and remade yet.
Yeah,
Because
well,
like
it's
video games are still relevant, and like space battles and stuff are still relevant. Like I've
yeah,
honestly
yeah,
no idea how it hasn't been picked up.
yeah, absolutely cooking there. That's bang on. Like
Some studio or somebody has probably
they'll find
they've
it,
got the
yeah, or
rights
they'll
for it.
hear about it and go, ah, yeah,
Yeah. I think somebody's got the rights for it and they're just sitting on it. It'll be like a
yeah,
rainy day and they'll think, let's do Last Starfighter. And the
yeah.
spaceships in it are called Gunstars, and that's the fucking coolest name I've ever heard for a space fighter.
What's it called?
A Gunstar.
A Gunstar.
Yeah. Gunstars. It's such a cool name. Yeah. Um yeah, and the whole time there's stuff happening back on Earth as well with his family. And it's like, but it's really entertaining, and you don't feel as though you're being, like, oh, come on, get back to the space battles. It's
Yeah,
like the stuff on Earth's cool. It's interesting as well, without giving too much away. But yeah, definitely
yeah.
watch it.
Another one to watch. Another one to watch.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd
get
probably
it on
get
the
away
list.
with that, showing that to the kids as well. Like it's probably
Yeah, there's a couple of bits in it that's maybe a bit scary in the same way that, because it's very much like Star Wars was good. What else
yeah,
can we, like, and it's got a similar scariness to Star Wars. Like there's some things in Star Wars that are a bit, a bit
yeah,
dodgy for kids, like the monster in the trash compactor.
yeah,
It's the Dianoga. I think that's what it was called, the Dianoga. Um, yeah, that kind of level of scary stuff.
yeah,
Like a few gross prosthetic bits. Like alien bits that are a bit grim. Um, but it's a kids' film. I think we've talked about this before. Like kids' films back in the day were a bit scary.
yeah. Terrifying.
Like they weren't like fucking Bluey and stuff like that. Like
No.
everybody's happy and friendly. We had Never Ending Story. Like where his fucking horse died of depression, and he fought that freaking wolf that could talk, which was the scariest thing ever.
Yeah, it was fucking terrifying.
Um, but yeah, Last Starfighter was like a kids' film, but now it would probably be like kids would have anxiety watching it now.
Yeah, I might give it a watch through.
Not my favourites of the times, but films that I definitely loved and people should definitely watch if they haven't seen them already. Because Last
Yeah,
Starfighter it's 100% going to get remade before long. In my
yeah,
lifetime, Last Starfighter will get remade, even if
yes,
I have to remake it myself. You can be my co-pilot. You can be
yeah.
Grig.
Oh, I'll be Gree. I'll be the alien. Yeah, Alan the alien.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can be Alan the
Yeah,
Alien.
Alan the alien.
What are
All
your
right, two
favourite?
more.
All right, go on then.
What is your well? I've wrote soundtrack, but not necessarily a soundtrack. What's your favorite movie soundtrack and or score and or theme? Something that really kind of hits with you.
I mean, as a '90s kid, and everybody will agree with this, Mortal Kombat is obviously up there in the runnings.
Yeah, that's great. That's a
Mortal
really
Kombat
good
was
one.
so good. The soundtrack for that was just tattooed to everybody's bloody CD player.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, that's a soundtrack, but a score. Uh, two that I do love, and I think maybe don't get as much love as they should. The scores for both for the first Thor film is amazing.
yeah. I've just posted about that recently because we were talking about that last week as well. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, the score for that's great, and that the theme, like Thor's theme that plays,
yeah,
it's like a motif that plays through the whole film, like in the big bits and the small bits. It's like the melody that follows through the whole film. That's brilliant, and I still insist the bit in the second Avengers film, or not second, the second uh, Endgame one. Was it called Endgame?
Endgame.
Or it might
Yeah,
be
it's
Infinity
Infinity
War.
War then
It
Endgame.
was the bit where Thanos is attacking Black Panther land, and
Yeah,
the beam comes down, and Thor's standing there with the tree
yeah.
in the
Dun
rack.
dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun
and
dun.
it plays to the Avengers theme. And he's like, and it's like Thor's here to save the day sort of thing. I
Yeah,
still think they should have played that original Thor theme at that bit
yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
when
yeah, yeah. That would have been a good shout. That
when
actually.
the light hit and then it disappeared and it was Thor was there to save them.
Yeah,
I still think it should have played. I think that would have hit much better than just the generic Avengers theme that they play
that's a
every
good
10
shout. That
seconds
actually.
anyway.
Yeah, that's a really good shout. That would have been
Yeah,
a nice callback as well because they
that's
didn't
it.
know where
Yeah,
Thor was at that point.
uh
Yeah,
huh. Yeah, yeah. He was fucked up. Yeah, he'd been
yeah,
like burned alive in the Starth thing, the Forge thing. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's a good shout.
that was a tremendous score. And How to Train Your Dragon. That's unbelievable. The score for
Ah,
that.
yeah. Really
I
good
mean,
pull.
great film, but the score's next level. Yeah, for the whole thing. Uh, Other than that, soundtracks. I mean, you got the classics. Matrix, brilliant soundtrack. Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat. What was the other one? It was right there. It was on the tip of my tongue. Train Spotting. Amazing soundtrack. Train Spotting.
I can't even think of any of the songs from what soundtrack from Trainspotting.
Oh god. I mean, Born Slippy, Underworld.
Oh yeah,
Fucking classic. What else is on there? There's Lou Reed. Perfect Day
mm,
is on there by Lou Reed. That got
yeah.
everybody into it. Iggy Pop, obviously from the opening. What the hell's the others? There's that nightclubbing's on it. Nightclubbing.
Oh yeah,
We're nightclubbing. Yeah, I played the Train Spotting soundtrack a lot in my youth. We'll go with them.
yeah. All right,
All
cool.
of them.
Yeah. And last one is a question for me, really more than anything else. What is your favorite superhero movie? And superhero movie you can class loosely. I'm not necessarily saying Marvel or DC, but anything that could be construed or
That
seen
ties into
as a
that
super.
world.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's put me a bit on the spot on that one. I really like that second Hulk film.
the
Was
Incredible
it the
Hulk one,
Incredible Hulk?
the Ed
Yeah, with
Norton one.
Ed Norton. Yeah, I like that
Yeah,
one. That was good. I think that's the only good. I think that's the only good shake of the stick the Hulk's had. Blade. Blade was brilliant.
Blade, it's fantastic.
Blade,
Yeah,
but
I mean we spoke about Blade
I
before.
think
Like,
Blade Two probably better.
yeah,
But
100%.
Blade One is still amazing. Another good soundtrack. Yeah, maybe Blade Two. Try to think of superhero films now that I like. I think I'm so instinctively turned off from superhero movies now.
Hmm.
Um,
We've been so saturated by them though for the last like probably
that's
the
it.
last
It's
10
all
years.
just it's like mush now. It's all just mush.
Yeah.
Like none of it stands out. And the ones that do stand out to me are the ones that were like either pre Marvel or just slightly outside of the Marvel
Hmm.
world. You know, Punisher Warzone is absolutely brilliant film.
I don't think I've seen Warzone, you know. I
Oh,
seen
it's
the
so good.
I seen the
It's
Punisher with John Travolta in, and I can't remember the
yeah.
name. It's
That
bad,
was
but I can't remember the name of the man, the Punisher.
Thomas Jane.
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, that was all right. I didn't quite get into that very. I thought it was a bit low impact. It was a bit too. I don't know. It seemed a bit like mopey. It was more following him around while he was all sad, you know,
Mm.
and he never say it. Yeah. Um, whereas Punisher Warzone, it like skips the intro, like it skips the origin story. We're
Yeah, just
expected
go
to know
straight
who
into
the
it.
who the Punisher is in it, and it's like it's shot very comic booky. You can tell that all the scenes have like have like a color palette of like two or three colors, and it's
Mm.
really vibrant and like brightly lit in the few colors, so they look like comic panels, you know.
All right, yeah.
Um, but it's ridiculously violent. Like it's just over the top violent in the way that Punisher, I think a Punisher film should be. Like, and he's the Punisher in it. He's brutal. Like he's horrible. He executes people. You know, like it's the bad guys and stuff. Like nobody's safe, and it's there's no like sort of there's no moral ambiguity about him. Like
Yeah.
he is if he wasn't the main character, he would be the bad guy. He's like a predator in it. Yeah, I can't believe you haven't seen that. Like, yeah, definitely give that a watch. It's what a Punisher film should be. It's really over the top.
I don't
Um,
even know why I haven't seen it, because like, I mean, you know what I'm like so
mm,
I'm in the bag for any superhero movie that comes out. So I just don't know why. At the time, it's obviously just slipped by me, and I've never come back
I
there.
think it was like a straight to DVD one. Um,
Yeah.
I think probably because it's so violent.
Hmm.
I've got a feeling Marvel said like, no, no, you know. But yeah, Warzone's great. Definitely give that a watch
Yeah.
because it's worth seeing. Um, but yeah, looks good. The main character's great. It's that fella who what's his name? Ray. He died not so long ago. He was in the
Ray
Thor
Stevenson.
film. Ray Stevenson. He was in one of the Thor films, wasn't he? Yeah, it's him. He plays Punisher, and he's really good in it. Like he looks the part. He's got like the black slick back hair. Yeah, watch it. Watch Punisher
Yeah.
Warzone
No.
for God's sake.
All right, cool. I'll uh, I'll give it a go, and that's it. That's it. That's everything I had really, and
All
that's
right.
probably us as well. We're like an hour 20 now, so we'll call it there, I think. And then if you get some questions for me, we'll reverse it the next
We'll
next
just do
step
the still
next week.
questions for you next week because I want to know your top threes and your favorite scores now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So we'll
then
we'll just switch places next week, and then you can run through them with me next week. So we'll see
mm-hmm.
what we watch over the weekend and stuff. We'll come back if there's any reviews to do. We'll do that.
Well, you've
Any
got a list
big
of films to
news?
watch there, men.
Yeah, loads to watch there. And yeah, we'll flip. We'll do the other way around next week.
We need to have a movie watching night as well. Like
Yeah, I
we
was
used to
thinking
do.
that. Yeah,
Like
that's a fucking really good shout and a really
we'll
good
stick
reminder.
this on and we'll sit and set a film away at the same time. We'll
Yeah, and just watch through it. Yeah,
synchronize our watches.
that is a really fucking good show.
I've got my greatest watch of all time here. We can synchronize our watches on it,
Yeah,
and then beep, and then we'll be away.
yeah, that's a really good show. We'll pick a movie.
Yeah,
Pick
we'll
a
go
movie.
through.
We'll flip it though. We'll put like, well, that's a good idea. That's a fucking good idea. Think of three movies. I'll think of three, and then next week when my hot seat finishes, we'll do like a random selector of the six of them, and whichever one comes out, that's the one we'll watch the next time.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
mean, we've got a massive list there. We've got of my stuff. So stick
yeah,
all them in the
loads.
selector already, and then
I'm not putting fucking Exorcist in there.
no, not Exorcist. I mean, you probably have you seen have you not seen it?
Yeah, I've seen Exorcist, but I don't
Oh,
want to say
there
it
you go.
again
Then you've
because it's
seen
scary as
Exorcist.
fuck.
Right. Well, we've got loads there. Just send me the
Yeah,
list, and we'll take some like you've seen Deep Rising,
we'll pick
and
something that
and like and How to Train
that'll
Your
be
Dragon and
good.
stuff. But yeah,
That's a really good shout. All
we'll
right.
we'll watch a film together.
Um, yeah, that's us for this week. Be sure to like and follow. I'll put my little tag thing at the end. Um, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe.